to be here. Thank you guys both for having me.
Thank you. We are so excited to have you. You are renowned in so many spheres. One is in community. I mean, you are Harlem, and you are home and welcoming and loving. You're one of the most prolific restaurateurs in the city of New York. James Beard finalist, kind of all the things. Michelin rated. Beat Bobby Flay.
What? Beat him down. Beat him down.
I took the chicken and I whipped him with it.
That's right. You are, a television person. You've been on Good Morning America, all the shows, Kelly, everything, 60 Minutes.
Everywhere, all of it.
Representing all of us in your grace and style and just beauty. You are an entrepreneur of the highest order. How you built this business, which is everywhere, Woman Rink, Grand Central, all the places, including home in Harlem. And we want to learn more about that today, just in terms of for small business owners. And you're a mom.
First of all, right?
That's right.
First of all, right.
Your mom, your beautiful son, and additional sons and children. And we love you, and we are so happy that you've spent some time to come to our home and talk to us today.
Well, I'm ready to go now. I'm like, who are you talking about?
You baby girl.
Well, first of all, I'm just honored to be here with the both of you. I'm huge fans of both of you, and I love you dearly.
We love
and
you.
your commitment to this city, to this country, and to our people.
Thank you, Melba. We love you too. You're a queen amongst us. You really are.
Yes.
And you're a gift, really, to our community. And it's a gift that just keeps on giving. And you give it with a smile and a warmth and a grace and a beauty. And for those who are listening to this podcast, y'all better watch YouTube so y'all can just see
Check her out, right?
what divine looks like. Okay?
Thank you so
And
much.
you are a queen, and we really love you as well. We appreciate you. We have so much respect for you. And so we want to just kind of kick off this conversation with you telling us a little bit about, who is Melba? Tell us your story. Where did it all kind of begin? As you say, you were born and bred and buttered in Harlem, right?
That's right.
Born, bred, and buttered in Harlem, yeah.
Tell us all about it.
David, I was the girl that everyone said couldn't, wouldn't, and shouldn't. Why? Because I'm Black. And I'm female.
Yes.
And I'm from what many perceive to be the ghetto. Well, everything in life is about our point of view.
Right.
So for me, I am Black. Proudly.
Yes.
Come on.
I'm female without a doubt.
Okay.
That was a triple D's in there.
That's right.
And, I'm from Harlem, but not the ghetto.
Right.
I am from the Mecca of Black culture.
You better say it.
Amen. Amen.
So it's all about our point of view
Right.
and how we look at things. The food and beverage industry, as we all know, is a white, male-dominated industry.
Yes.
It's also the second largest Black contribution of revenue to this country.
Wow.
The first is healthcare,
Okay.
and the second is the food and beverage industry. So we're the second largest private employer
Right.
in this country. And so for me, it's an industry that I love. Growing up, my family, we would always hop in a car and go to our Disney. Now, our Disney wasn't in Florida. It wasn't in California.
Right.
It was in a small town in South Carolina called Hemingway, which is where my father's family is from. You see, we couldn't afford the other Disney.
Right.
So our Disney was when school
Went down
ended in
south,
June.
Right.
Went down south.
Yeah.
Hop
for
in
the
that
summer.
car. That's right.
That's
Take that
right.
12-hour drive.
Yes.
Stop at the Piggly Wiggly.
Right. Eat the chicken in the car.
There you go. Wrapped in the aluminum foil. Because it wasn't aluminum. It was aluminum foil.
Right.
With that Wonder Bread, a little bit mayo.
That's right.
And then we would stop at south of the border. And it's where I learned, first of all, how to read license plates. You can tell me the colors. I can tell you anything about license plates. But more importantly, it's where I learned the importance of food and how to cook. See, it was then that I would go with my grandmother to her garden. And it's where we pick greens, beans, tomatoes, potatoes, you name it.
Whole Foods.
Whole Foods,
Yes.
right. Before there was a Whole Foods.
Right, yeah.
And that's when, the pigs ate what our leftovers. And there weren't pesticides.
Right.
There weren't all of these things that they put in food that we can't pronounce, right? But that's where the food was pure.
Yes.
And it was delicious and it was divine. But it's also a place where stories were told. Everything that was important in our family happened where?
At the table.
At the table.
Yes.
Yeah, and I wanted to be a part of that. So 114th Street was one of the most drug-ridden blocks in Harlem back then. And there's a school in the middle of the block, Wadley.
Oh, yeah.
And it bothered me that a lot of kids had to witness so much negative behavior. And then they had to go into school and learn.
Right.
To learn. And I said, Melba, are you going to talk about it or are you going to be about it?
Okay.
So with money that I saved up under my mattress, I decided to invest in the community that has invested so much in me, which is Harlem.
Wow.
So I started counting my money, counting. And the last day when I finished counting, I'm walking up 8th Avenue, AKA Frederick Douglass Boulevard. And there's a sign on 114th and 8th Avenue. And it said, for rent, call.
Wow.
Limley and Wolf was the landlord. I called the number and spoke to a guy by the name of Mr. Robert Reach, who said, I'm sorry, but we have a lease out for that property.
Oh, no.
I said, is the lease signed? He said, no. I said, well, my mama told me that a deal's not a deal till the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. And I'm on the phone and my head really was going back and forth. That's right. Because that's what we do. That's what we do, sister girls. That's what we do. And he said, you know, I like you. Why don't you come in tomorrow? I said, I'm totally booked tomorrow. And you have nothing to do.
That's right.
But I'm free or available today.
Why did you do that?
Because time waits for no one.
That's right.
And you have to seize the moment. Everything in life is about timing.
Yes.
Right.
And who knew what would happen by tomorrow? The lease may have been signed
Right.
by tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's no better time than today.
Come on.
Right.
So I went in, met him, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Wow.
Amen. Hallelujah.
That's incredible.
It's so interesting, as you said, like people said that you're Black, you're a woman, you're from the ghetto. I had a similar experience when I went to this all basically white boarding school, and I was from the South Bronx, you know, teenage parent, you know, Black female, and this little white boy actually said to me, and he was, being very innocent. He was like, "You're Black, you're a woman, and you're from the South Bronx." He said, "That's like having 3 strikes, isn't it?" Can you believe that?
Wow.
And I was like you, maybe being Black and a woman from the South, maybe those are superpowers.
Come on now.
Because how come, and what I said to him was like, how come I'm the head of the, you know, at the top of the class?
Come on now.
How come I'm the captain of the team? How come I'm the, and so, you know, talking about that, and as a Black woman from this historic, wonderful place, and you're showing up in this white male space, what does that feel like? And that you have to push through every day.
You're 100% right. It's about putting our cape on.
Yes.
And knowing that those are not liabilities.
Right.
Those are assets. So again, point of view. How do we look at them? Being Black, being female, and being from Harlem is what has prepared me to deal with that world.
Right.
The clear world, the male-dominated world. Because I'm used to taking a punch.
Right.
You know, I'm used to being told
punching back.
Come on, because you know.
Right.
Okay.
Here we go.
And you know we don't fight fair, right? Anyway.
Right.
We don't fight to win.
Right.
We fight to kill.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Because you're not coming back. And that's why, in terms of looking at me being in the food and beverage industry, failure was not an option.
Come on.
I had to kill this industry
Right.
in a great way.
Right.
I had to bring my best.
Right.
I had to have Harry Snapper come in and design the restaurant, who's known for designing the homes of the rich and famous.
Okay.
You know, and who did it for me as a gift.
Nice.
Because he knew I couldn't afford. Harry came to me, he goes, Melba, who's designing the restaurant? I'm like, the contractor? Like, you know, like this is all of the money that I have that I'd saved up. I was going through a divorce at the time. And
I know a little something about that.
And I had a 4-year-old son.
Wow.
And here I am taking my life savings.
Wow.
But it was the best bet I ever made.
Right.
I bet on me.
That's right.
But more importantly, I bet on my community. And to date, they have not failed me.
That's
Come on.
right.
Now, you are the niece of the legendary Sylvia
Yes.
from Sylvia's Restaurant,
Yes.
which is known the world over. Tell us about that relationship, that connection. Did you worked at the restaurant, right? I mean, tell us what the influence was of Sylvia herself as your auntie, as well as being in the restaurant with her.
Well, Sylvia biologically is my cousin, but in the South, she's my second cousin. She's my father's first cousin. But in the South, when someone's older than you,
Right.
you can't. You have to call them auntie or uncle, you know, or Mr. or Ms.
Right.
So biologically, she is my cousin, but I call her aunt out of respect.
Yes.
So when my aunt came and asked me to work with her at Sylvia's, I was planning parties for Von Harper at Leviticus. I was throwing parties at 70 West. And I was also proofreading actuarial laws at General Adjustment Bureau.
That was a day job.
Girl.
Okay, right.
That was like watching paint dry.
Right.
Sure, for a creative like you.
Totally.
Right.
So I needed that balance of the party scene in order to fulfill the creative part of my spirit. And so, you know, Von Harper was at Leviticus. I was throwing parties there. 70 West, I was promoting parties there as well. And really gained a following with a lot of the celebrities. And also gained some extra much needed revenue.
Right.
And so, which is one of the ways that I, you know, actually saved up the money in order to open the restaurant. But my aunt came to me and she said, why don't you come and help me up at the restaurant? I think it was her 30th anniversary is coming up. And I said, okay. So I started as a cashier, bit by the bug, loved it.
Wow.
Loved dealing with people instead of sitting there proofing actuarial laws.
Right.
And with her anniversary, I threw a 3-day party that I personally planned. The first day was a community day with breakfast and gospel singers for the community. The second day was double dutch and jumping rope, etc. And the third day was a black tie event. And it was a 900 person event where we had a tent over what's now the parking space.
Oh, wow.
That also went into Sylvia's also.
Oh, wow.
It's where I started gospel brunch. And I used to do a Thursday open mic at Sylvia's also. But working with my aunt was indeed one of the best things that ever happened to me. And it was important to me because she taught me not to give up. She taught me, she was a living example of what happens when you take a chance. You know, she started out as a waitress when it was called Johnson's.
Oh, wow.
And then the owner, Mr. Johnson, she'd never worked in the restaurant industry before. He asked her to go get a cup of coffee. She's standing at the urn for almost 20 minutes trying to figure out how to get the coffee out of the urn. He hired her because of her persistence and her perseverance. And she went on to be one of his top sellers.
Wow.
So when Mr. Johnson decided that he wanted to sell the space, he offered it to my Aunt Sylvia.
Wow. Wow.
And her mother took out a loan against her land in Hemingway,
do.
South Carolina.
Right.
And Sylvia's was born.
Right.
And the blessing is that she was brilliant. She with my Uncle Herbert and went on to buy up most of the block.
That's right. That's right. And what you're talking about in terms of, you know, how to build a business, how to leverage family, how we need to come together as a community and support one another and pour into one another, and what you did to save. I mean, one of the really scary statistics is that there are only 3.5% of the businesses in New York City are Black owned, which to me is devastating. And you are one of our most successful entrepreneurs, not only in New York City, but nationally. What would you say to an entrepreneur that wants to get started or starting out? What do they need to be doing? And what do we need to be doing to help support our entrepreneurs?
That's a great question, Sheena. One of the things that I always tell people is be intentional about who we spend our dollars with.
Yes.
That's number one.
Yes.
What do you mean about that?
Well,
explain that.
Okay, in the Black community, we've got to make sure that the dollars circulate within our community.
Right.
Okay, I live in Harlem, so when I'm doing my dry cleaning, I'm at Dry Clean Depot.
Okay.
Okay, when I'm buying
Black-owned.
flowers, right, Black owned. When I'm buying flowers, I am going to Barbara's Flowers, or I'm going to Franz James Floral.
Right.
You know, when I'm eating or dining, 9 times out of 10, I'm bringing people up to my community.
Right.
I'm going to neighborhood coffee shop.
Right.
You know, I am very intentional. The earrings I have on today.
Yes.
Corinne Simpson, the black cameo.
Yes.
You know, the dress I have on, Sai Sankal. You know, I am very intentional about where we spend our dollars.
Right.
Now, if we look at the metrics, we are the top consumers worldwide.
Of everything?
Of all over. We're the number one consumers.
Wow.
However, we make up 0.1% of the producers. So imagine if we produced just a little
Have
bit more.
mercy.
If we supported each other.
2%.
Yes.
That would be
The
phenomenal.
number, yeah. So we have the ability. We have a lot of different producers out there, but we have to be intentional about supporting them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that makes all of the difference in the world.
Right.
You know, go out of your way and buy Black.
Right. That's a word right there.
You know,
That's a word
without a
right
doubt.
there.
And so when people come up to Melba's, I'm always in awe because I don't advertise. I don't advertise.
Wow.
I take my advertising budget and I reinvest it in the community.
Wow.
And I've been doing that for 21 years now.
Right. Right.
When you first of all, you just said a word for real, right? I mean, how we have to invest in each other and be intentional about doing that. So thank you so much for that.
Totally,
I want to go
David.
back again, just thinking about just how you got started, right? I mean, and being able to be in this a couple of decades now.
Yeah.
I know
21 years.
You said the
I'm
rest.
legal.
You
I'm
said-
legal. I can drink officially.
You said the rest is history, but I still want to learn a little bit more about that history. I mean,
Sure.
What was some of the biggest challenges that you faced? I mean, you survived, the pandemic.
Yes.
When a lot of other restaurants folded, and we haven't heard from them again.
Right.
And we think about so many of these great restaurants. Sheena and I were just talking about this. Some of the great restaurants,
Right, in Harlem
over the
that are no
years.
longer here.
Yeah, like Copeland's and.
M&G's,
Pan
Pan, all of those wonderful places.
Yeah. That we all loved it, loved their food. They're part of our culture, but they're all gone.
They are.
But you're still here. What do you attribute your longevity to?
Well, just because I'm still here does not mean that it was easy. Let me
Right,
just start
that's
off by
right.
saying that.
Yeah.
This industry, the food and beverage industry, is one of the toughest industries. That, one out of
right.
every 5 fail.
Right.
Okay. Also, it's a white, as I said earlier, male-dominated industry.
Right.
So how do we pave our way? For me, it was about being unapologetically me.
Authentic.
Very authentic.
Yes.
And comfortable in my skin. In order to do that, there are no tablecloths. There's no white tablecloths
Right.
at Melba's. When you come in, we're not afraid to give you a hug because that's who we are. So being authentic with who I am and also serving the food that I believe in.
Yeah.
And food that I grew up eating. That's important to me. Food that speaks to history. Food that speaks to legacy. Food
Right.
that was once known as garbage food, right? But now, like bone marrow is a delicacy. Now, my grandmother used to suck all the marrow
That's
out.
right. Have that chicken bone.
There you
My
go. There
grandmother
you go.
did too, Grandma
And now you're
Alice.
going paying $80 for some bone marrow. Okay? Grandma, let me call
That's
her.
right.
But also, just because you're Black or African American doesn't mean you have to cook soul food.
That's right.
Cook what speaks to you, but also look at supply and demand because you've got to do the metrics behind it.
Right.
Is it a business or is it a hobby? Is there a supply? Is there a demand for what you're looking to supply?
Right.
And how do you do it just a little bit different?
Right.
For me, it was knowing that Chicken and Waffles was born here in Harlem as I am and putting a little eggnog, making my eggnog and putting some eggnog in my waffles. So not reinventing the wheel, just perfecting it a little bit differently.
Right.
So that's what has worked for me. It's 21 years. There are 4 places opening the 5th one this year.
Wow.
5 businesses, including the catering business,
Right.
which will make it 6 this year.
Yeah, where are they? Tell us again. Where are your locations?
Melba's in Harlem,
Yep.
300 West 114th. We're celebrating 21 years this year.
Yes.
Melba's in Grand Central Station, which is celebrating 1 year. We just celebrated 1 year. The first Black female to have a place in Grand Central.
on.
Yes.
First Black restaurant to have a place in
keep
Grand
making
Central
history.
Terminal.
Yes.
In Central Park, over Woman Ring, 5
Yes.
years. And in the Prudential Center, which has been there
Jersey.
3 years.
Wow.
So,
How's
and
that
Melba's
going?
Catering has been 21 years. Well, it's going really, really well. I'm partners with Harris Blitzer Sports, who own the 76ers and the
Okay.
Commanders and the New Jersey Devils. And we're opening 2 more places in the next 2 years
Wow.
with them as well. So
Wow.
it's going really well.
That's fantastic.
It's
And
going
that
well.
expansion takes capital. And as you know, and David asked, have there been challenges? And I would imagine that it hasn't been easy to get the capital needed to expand and all of those things. But certainly you've been
What's that
successful.
word you just said?
Expand?
No, what's the other word? Oh, there
Yeah,
you go. Girl.
Liz. Come on.
Girl. Now, can we have a word?
Yes.
Okay. Capital, AKA money.
Yes.
AKA
Money.
revenue. AKA.
Yes.
That's been very, very difficult. I remember the bank that I bank with, that I've been banking with for years, when I went for my first loan, denied me.
Why?
I wasn't
we can
bankable.
guess. Right. But they
And
can
I'm
take
in the
her
restaurant.
money.
Right.
Right.
But they couldn't invest in me.
Right.
So, now I bank at Carver Bank.
Oh, amen.
I ended up going to True Fund.
Right. These are Black institutions, financial institutions.
That's right. I ended up going to True Fund.
Right.
And True Fund has been my partner.
Yes,
They have
fantastic.
truly been my partner. It was really interesting because when I met with Jamie Dimon the first time, he said to me, Melba, what can Chase do? And I said, you can make us bankable. You can give us the where, the what's, the 5 W's, so that before we go and apply for the loan, we know
And what are the
what
5
we
W's?
need, when, what, where, why, and who, what, when, where, and why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So teach us so that in advance, so that
Right.
we're being proactive,
Right.
and not reactive.
Right.
So there's an amazing young lady, Nicole King, who's at Chase, who is killing it, and she's really implemented those things. So
Right.
super
Wonderful.
excited about that. But we also have to take care of people that take care of us.
Right.
Okay, we have a lot of buying power. We have a lot of spending power, and we have to bank with people that bank on us.
Amen.
So
Amen.
yeah, I have a little something in Chase, but
Yeah.
Right.
you know,
Right.
we gotta take care of people that take care
That's
of
what
us.
I'm
That's
talking
right.
about.
But it has been difficult for the first time. I am doing my first raise, so super excited about
Amen.
that.
Wonderful.
Yeah. What's your goal?
Yep, 5.9 million.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Let's do it. We're
5.9
gonna
million.
speak it.
So it's already done.
It's already done.
It's already done.
Victory.
And what we're doing for the first time is because it has been my own revenue.
Right.
That's invested. And De Niro told me this years ago. He said,
As
"Mel,
in Robert De Niro?
Yeah.
You see the way she just dropped that?
Yeah,
De Niro, yeah.
Bob, who I was partners with years ago, told me OPM. Melba, OPM. I'm like, OPM.
OPM?
Other people's money.
Okay. Right.
He said, in order to, you look at Nobu. I was there when the first Nobu opened
Right.
30 years ago.
Right.
And it was a bunch of partners.
Right.
And now they have over 50 around the world.
Right.
And now they have Nobu hotels.
Right.
And what they did was they used other people's money. The best thing to do is to get investors.
Right.
And at 21 years later, I'm finally realizing that. So in
Right.
order to grow the brand
Right.
in the way that I'm growing it, it has to be
Right.
OPM.
And that's how you grow wealth.
Totally.
Right.
Generational wealth.
Generational
That's
wealth.
what we have to have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What about talent? So as you're expanding into these different locations, you've expanded. How much of a challenge has that been to find folks who are really good, right? I mean, in the kitchen, right, in the restaurant proper. Finding good people is not easy.
These are
How
some
have you been-
good questions, you guys. Wow. I do a lot of interviews, but you guys, it's really deep. And it's also understanding the landscape. And
Right.
So thank you for that. Capital and people.
Yes.
Yeah, those are two of the hardest things. What I've learned is that I look for the person that genuinely loves people, depending on the position. Right. So if we're talking about front of the house, I can teach you how to open a bottle of wine. I can teach you how to cook. I can teach you how to do a lot of things. But what I can't teach you how to do is to genuinely love people.
Right.
Yeah.
So when it comes to certain skill sets, I can't always use that formula. But when it comes to front of the house restaurant, stuff like that, I normally look for a person that genuinely loves people, because most other things I can teach you. I've had an amazing COO that's been with me now for 4 years.
What's the name?
His name is Tim, and Tim is wonderful. And Tim came from a company that he worked for 23 years, no, for 18 years, and he ran 23 different places for them.
Wow. Wow.
He was the person I needed.
Yes,
Yes.
he was.
He was
yeah.
the person I was afraid to hire.
Why? Why were you
Girl
afraid?
that came with a big price tag.
Okay, that's right. That's a big investment. It's a big investment.
No, not a big, but a big.
Right, right.
But what I had to realize was that in order to achieve the growth that I needed, I couldn't afford not to have her.
Right.
Yes.
Right, right.
And so Tim is a huge reason as to why I've been able to expand and to grow the business and ultimately grow the brand.
Wonderful. And you know, Melba, this is so rich and will be helpful to so many people because, David and I really started this podcast. One, we wanted to inspire people, and you're just an inspiration.
Yes,
but we also wanted to educate them on like, really key things and ultimately activate them. And you've already done all three. You're like, we gotta, support each other and our businesses. You've given such a profound education in terms of being an entrepreneur and what you need to do and all of that. And it's just been just phenomenal conversation so far.
Yeah.
And one of the things, when you come into Melba's, and David and I were talking about this, you mentioned, you to drop a couple of names here of celebrities, like all the celebrities know Melba's. They come to Melba's, and what we were talking about is like, you don't have a VIP seating. They sitting right there next to you,
That's
right?
right.
Asking for the hot sauce
That's
or whatever. Hey, how you doing? And and we love Rihanna, and we love ASAP, and we love like Sherry Shepherd and all the amazing people.
I really love Rihanna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, honey. Okay, but we love Riri. We do. But I mean,
ASAP is okay. Right.
he's great.
She looks just
We
like your
love
wife.
ASAP.
She looks
Yes,
just like your
there you
beautiful
go.
bride.
So my little sister.
Just like your beautiful
Right.
bride.
And you've created this environment
Yeah.
where all these celebrities come and they just feel at home and they're very comfortable. How do you do that?
Yeah.
Comfort is more than just in the food. It's in the experience.
Yes.
And so what I do is I love to employ people that understand that.
Right.
And that genuinely feel that same way. I tell them all the time, I'm like, there are over 26,000 restaurants in this city.
26,000.
Over 26,000.
People can go anywhere.
And we don't advertise.
Right.
So the fact that someone woke up and said, let's go to Melba's,
Lines out the door.
that's why your check clears.
Right.
Right.
So if you're not happy to be here, this is not the place for you.
Right. Right.
And I'm okay with that.
That's
Yeah.
right.
But understand the opportunity that we have here. We have an opportunity to change someone's day.
Right.
We have an opportunity to make someone's days better.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that's our job. That's our responsibility.
Right.
But more importantly, it should be our pleasure.
Right.
It
Yes.
should be our pleasure.
Right. Yeah.
I'm only as good as my last meal.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
understand that 21 years later,
Right.
I know, David, that I'm only as good, Sheena, as my last meal.
And the last experience someone
That's
has
it.
with you.
That's it.
Right. Right.
That's it.
Absolutely.
We had this woman who wrote a few years ago. She went on one of the review pages and she wrote, Melba's is my favorite restaurant.
Okay.
My husband and I go there every Thursday. We've been going there for 11 years. We went there yesterday.
Uh-oh.
And da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, baby.
And you know what? I'm 99.9% sure that everything she said was right.
Right. Right.
My only question,
It's 11 years. Why wasn't you writing good stuff?
or just one.
That's right.
You don't have to give me 11 good things.
Right.
Just one.
Right.
But the one time that we didn't get it right, because I'm
Right.
sure we were at fault,
Right. Right.
was the one time she wrote a review.
Yeah.
And that's what people do.
And that's what they
But
do.
I was okay with that because that made me realize I'm only as good as my last meal.
That's right. You
That's
got it. You
powerful.
got
The
it.
11 years
Absolutely.
don't count.
Yeah.
Right.
What I do today
Yeah.
Right.
is what counts.
Yeah.
And so I took that as a teachable moment.
Right.
Not as a moment that, why did she do it? No, that's a teachable moment for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Because again, it's about the POV,
That's right.
point of view.
That's
That's
right.
right.
So for me, it was a teachable moment. So every first Friday when we do our staff meetings, that's what I tell my team over and over. We are only as good as our last meal.
Right.
And just
Right.
because we're open today
Right.
does not mean we can't be closed tomorrow.
That's
Now,
right.
that is absolutely true. I will tell you though, the other 11 years do count, and as a leader, right, being able to continue to inspire your folks to understand that you're going to have those days. We can't take it super personal. We got to get it right. But it is a study in human behavior. People who, when they love it, oftentimes don't say anything, but they will speak up. I was the chancellor in the New York City schools. When things are going right, you will very
Never hear
rarely
about it.
hear that.
Isn't that something?
People show up at community forums to bitch and complain and to tell you everything that you're getting wrong. And I would try to change people's behavior a little bit around that to say, before you do that,
Yeah.
tell me one thing that you do like about the school. Tell me one thing that you think that we are getting right. Because you almost have to retrain how people even broach the subject. Because otherwise, you'll just be receiving criticism all the time.
Yeah.
And you don't hear the good things. So we want you to know you've been getting it right
That's
for a
right.
long, long time. I've been going to Melba's for years, even before I even met Sheena. not only going to the restaurant, but a lot of times just ordering and picking it up and making my way to get back home so I could watch the game or something. But I said, I'm going to get this fish and I'm going to get these
catfish.
grits.
She loves the catfish.
The catfish and the grits, that's my deal right there.
Right.
You kidding me?
That's right.
I love it. But it's not just a restaurant. You then assumed a larger leadership role.
Right.
Yes.
Heading up the New York City Hospitality Alliance. And
Yes.
Tell us about that. How do you even have the time? What is that? And how do you even have the time to do it?
Well, the New York City Hospitality Alliance, it's my bread and butter, food and beverage. And so when they asked me, or when they elected me to be the president, which was in 2019.
Okay, right before COVID.
Girl, if you told me COVID was coming, I may have told you.
Right, like, wait a minute.
I was like, oh my God. But it was an honor. You know, the presidents before me were Doug Griebel, who owned all the Rosa Mexicanos worldwide. And before that, it was Jeff Banks, who owned all the Carmines. And right now, after me, it is now Bill Bonbress, who is one of the founders of Tao, the Tao Group worldwide. So for me to assume this position, it was definitely an honor.
Right. Probably, were you the first woman?
First woman and the first person of any color.
What?
Other than it's only been white male presidents. And this organization was started by the owners of these restaurants. So it's very, very owner driven.
Right.
And it was because the needs of restaurants in the state are different than restaurants in the city.
Right.
You know, you look at the SLA rule for the distance between schools or churches and establishments which serve alcohol. Well, in New York State, there's thousands of acres. New York City, we're only 5 miles.
Right.
You know, so we're right on top of each other. So we advocate for so many different things that a restaurant in New York State have no problems with.
Right.
So for me to serve in the capacity as president was an honor, but it was also an opportunity for me to bring in the mom and pops.
That's right.
You know, I one of the things I was very adamant about was changing the membership fees. Bringing them for small businesses to $365.
Right.
Something that was affordable. Yeah. And to our credit, we've been able to maintain that. So we have more restaurants that are in different boroughs, more restaurateurs of colors, more chefs, more owners.
Right.
And that was important to me because we are, again, the second largest private employer in this country. Right. And a lot of people look like us.
Right.
You know, they're Latino, they're Hispanic, they're Asian, they're women, they're Black, they're African, they're African American, they're Caribbean. We're all around the diaspora. And I felt that we should be represented as such.
And that's so important because, you know, we talk a lot about policy and systems change. And you can work really hard on the ground, like you said, and get kind of crushed by things that are happening in government. And to be in a seat where you're informing and influencing policy that impacts so many, and to do that in your free time, to volunteer to do that and have that kind of leadership, that is so important because you're not just invested in your own success. You're like, I want to create a paradigm for success for all of us. And that's really, really incredible.
Well, the first 2 letters in my name are M-E, but we need to turn that M into a W because it's never about me, it's about we.
Right.
You know, and I'm never in a room to take up space. I'm always in a room to make a difference. And so one of the things that David Rockwell and I talked about, who's one of my dearest friends, literally, in the world, he's an amazing architect, designer from the Rockwell Group. And David and I would talk during COVID a lot, and we were like, what can we do? What can we do to help out restaurants? And David and I came up with this idea of doing outdoor dining, but providing the vehicles for restaurants that could not afford to have the tables and the chairs. And we went to Bill de Blasio at the time, and we said, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. What do you think?
Wow.
And so de Blasio took it on, and that's how we were able to do outdoor dining. So we supplied hundreds of restaurants with tables.
And I'm sure most people don't know that.
We couldn't eat inside.
That's right.
So we started a program called Dine Out. And it was...
And now it's a whole industry, right?
It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And so kudos to my dear friend David Rockwell.
And kudos to you. And kudos to you.
Absolutely. To be the visionaries
Thank you.
for that. In the time of challenge when others were cowering, and closing, you all were locked in on innovating and solutions, and it's got to be a way. But that's been your life. You've been finding a way and making a way.
Making my way.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a Leroy Campbell piece of art that I've got to send you guys a picture of. That's a great statement, David, and it's interesting because there are days I walk out of the doors of Melba's and I'm like, what the heck was I thinking?
Really?
Because there are days that are really challenging and really hard and that hit me in my gut, that hurt me to the core.
Wow.
And I have to tell you about those days. I can't just talk about the good day.
Right.
Because every day is not Sunday.
That's right.
But on those days, I step outside the door and I look to my right. And there's a monument right on 110th Street.
Baby.
Frederick Douglass.
Yes.
And then I walk a few blocks uptown to my left. And with the roots and the faces coming out of the hem of her garment is the one and only Harriet Tubman.
Amen.
Yes.
And I say to myself, I'm like, Melba, who are you to complain?
Right.
If Harriet Tubman, who had water hoses, had guns shot at her,
Right.
had dogs sicked on her,
A bounty on her head.
Right.
Yeah.
could build an underground railroad, I won't complain.
Come on.
That's right. That's right. And that is absolutely a word right
Got
there.
chills going right through.
Yes,
Absolutely.
and our ancestors that struggle absolutely, and
Yeah.
it should
We can never
inspire
forget.
us. Yes,
We can't forget.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
My worst day was their best day.
Yes,
right.
How do I complain?
That's right.
We've got to keep going because they have sacrificed
That's right.
Right.
and paid a price that we will never know about.
For
we'll
us.
never be able to repay them.
No.
Right.
And even if you do complain, that you have the intestinal fortitude to keep moving on. You have to. That's what we come from.
Yes.
That's what our culture has been built on. We stand on the shoulders of
Come
people
on.
who fought, bled, died, and sacrificed for us.
Yeah.
So that means that we can't complain,
Right.
but it means that you don't lay down. You keep going. You keep on pushing.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. That's what Melba's represents as an institution.
Yes.
But that's what you represent even as an individual. People are drawn to you,
Yes.
Melba, personally, not just
Because you fine.
Yeah, thank you. You have so much. You have a spirit
Yes.
that people just love you and want to be around you. You know, and people draw energy from you. How does Melba continue to fortify herself?
Yes.
Ooh. You know what? Y'all real good at this podcast.
What do you do for
Wow.
you? What do you do
Wow.
for you?
Travel is my drug.
Yes.
Travel is my drug of choice. I'm a fire sign. I'm an Aries.
Okay.
So being on the beach, reading a good book,
Yes.
being down by the riverside, you know, those are the things that really speak to my soul and speak to my spirit. So yeah, just being able to relax.
Yes.
I love blue water. I love really beautiful, smooth sand. And Aruba's my spot.
All right, Aruba.
The weather's always perfect.
Nice.
People are nice. That and I also love Joburg, South Africa.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
I love South Africa.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Yeah, and to walk and see and feel Mandela's spirit,
Yes.
who talking about a story.
That's right. That's
What?
right.
Come on.
That's right.
Talking about a story.
Talking about a story.
Right.
Whew, my
Right.
gosh.
Right.
That's why kids have to know their history.
That's right. That's
because
right.
that is what fortifies them.
Right.
Totally.
Is if you don't know about Frederick Douglass, if you don't know about Harriet Tubman,
Right.
If you don't
then
know
it's
about
hard-
Mandela.
right? If you don't know about Mandela, then it's hard for those people to inspire you to keep on keeping on.
Totally.
That's why we got to make sure we keep teaching the history.
And also faith.
Yes.
You know, we grew up in the church, right?
That's right. That's
Some
right.
type of religion.
That's right.
Some type of, it may not have been, it could have been a mosque, whatever
That's
it was.
right.
We grew up having faith and understanding the importance of faith, right?
Right.
Faith is what kept us and still does going in those dark moments.
Right.
And I think our kids have done such a disservice right now because the only thing they have is this.
Yes.
Those little
And that
games. Yep.
instant gratification.
Right.
And they don't understand that the journey is in the process. You know, I remember when my mom and dad being at home every Saturday, 2 people came by the door, knock, knock. It was the insurance guy
Trying to sell insurance.
There we go. Or coming to get his payment because we couldn't pay it all at once. So we had to pay it.
That's
It's
right.
called layaway. Installments.
Right.
And it was the Britannica Encyclopedia.
That's right. I
That's
did some of those myself. That's right.
Did you?
I did. You didn't know that.
Learn something
Always
new.
surprises.
Summer. That's right.
And it was beautiful because every time the Britannica Encyclopedia guy came, I was in awe. And I was in awe because the pages were lined in gold.
Yes.
So to me, that meant it had value.
Yeah.
It was worth something. So every time he dropped off a volume, every Saturday, if my dad had the money, I got into it.
Right.
You know, and you know, there's so many beautiful things that you discover. So it wasn't just about going from A to Z.
Right.
It was the discoveries
Right.
and D and E and F and
Right.
the things you learned along the journey
Right.
that made it worthwhile. So as I tell people, it's not for me having the restaurant in my mind going from vision to reality. It's all the beautiful nuances.
That's right.
And the challenges.
And
along
the
way.
challenges.
That's
and
right.
the
Yes.
challenges.
Yes.
Listen,
along the way.
if my mom and dad's house still on the mantle,
Those encyclopedias.
the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Love the
A
encyclopedia.
through Z.
There we
Yes.
go.
Right? And there were a couple little addendums that threw in there as well.
There we go.
I love the encyclopedia. And I have to
Yes.
say, when I was little, I was like, one day I'd like to be in the encyclopedia. I was like, because everything
Right.
is in here.
Right. We ain't making it to the encyclopedia. Melba's in the encyclopedia, I'm sure.
Well, yeah,
know
there's
about that.
Wikipedia. We're, you know,
Yeah,
Well, I
that's
know
true.
somebody's on the cover
encyclopedia,
and on the
Chancellor.
cover of Time magazine.
That's right. You were
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
in
we
the
made
Got a
that one. That's
deputy
for
mayor.
sure.
I mean, you guys have made history. History. And it's
Oh,
such an
my
honor
gosh.
to sit here with you
Oh,
in your
and
presence.
we feel the
I'm
same
a
way.
huge fan of both of you guys.
Well, we are bigger fans of yours.
And Eagle
speaking of-
Academy. Oh, my God.
Thank you. You're too kind. But I also want to ask you, just in terms of celebration and the fun, like some of the people who've been there, like Sheena and I, like one of the last times we were at Melba's, we were sitting right next to Sherry Shepherd,
Yeah.
right? Who also, she reminds me of you. Her smile,
That's my girl.
her energy, personality,
Yes.
and it just said this stuff happens all the time. Who are some of the other people that have
Oh,
you
my
know
God.
graced the tables there at
that's-
Melba's?
Who has it? Who has it?
Well, I get a call one day. It's a great story. I get a call one day, and my assistant is like, "Melba, these people want to come to the restaurant, but they don't tell me who they are, and da-da-dee, and da-da-da." And this goes on for about 2 weeks. So finally, I'm like, "Okay, we're filming a television show on this day at this time. Have them come by right at the end." So we're scheduled to finish at 11.
And you still don't know who it is?
No, because they won't say.
Right.
So I'm like, have them come to the restaurant. It's public. We'll have a whole team there. Da 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 da. They get there and they were like, "Oh, So I get there at 9:30. They're there. I'm like, "Oh, those are people from the TV crew." No, those are the people we told to come at 11.
Oh, no.
What?
Oh, no.
Who are these people? We sit down with them. Long story short, they said, "Well, we're with some very important people, and they've sent 3 advanced groups out. One was a party of 10, one was a party of 2, one was a party of 6. They'd love to dine at Melba's." The husband asked the wife, "Where would you like to go in the world?" And she said Melba's.
Wow.
So I'm like, who is it? Who is it? I'm thinking it's the O's, the Obamas.
Right.
Right.
Well, it was Prince Harry
And
Look at
Meghan.
and Meghan.
Are you kidding me?
Yes,
and
I
Meghan.
remember
We were
that.
sworn to secrecy. We
Yes.
didn't say anything. That was the longest 4 days of my life.
Right.
And they came in, and it was his first time eating chicken and waffles.
I love it.
And the table next to him, he was like, "May I have a piece of your waffle fry, please?" I mean, he was so kind, so caring. So both of them were just absolutely amazing. So they've been,
Wow.
oh my God, Rihanna, Rocky is his home.
Riri, you had
Rocky's
Riri
his
up
home.
in the.
Of
Why
course.
did they call me?
Yes.
The menu was ASAP Rocky Yams. Those are the yams. He loves
Yeah.
the yams. She named it
Yeah.
after him.
Yeah.
That's his
He
home.
loves
I
Yeah,
was worried about the
that's his
ASAP
home.
Rocky.
Right,
I was
you know what?
if
Okay.
Riri was in the building.
Yeah.
That's right.
She was-
In the building. We love her. And
We
they're
do.
beautiful. They're a
We
beautiful
do.
family.
We
We
do.
just love
Oh,
them and the
they're so-
kids. Yes.
What a great family.
Yes.
What a great example
Yeah.
of Black love.
Black
just as you
love.
guys are as well,
Absolutely.
you know?
Absolutely.
So, oh my God, who's been there? Everybody. Was Stephon Diggs, right? The week before the game, the Super Bowl,
Super Bowl,
has
right.
been there. Oh my
Yeah.
God, we get everybody.
She
We
gets
get everybody.
She get everybody.
Katy Perry,
Right.
Jerry Jones. Oh, I got to tell you this Jerry Jones story. Hilarious. First time he comes in, it's the day that they're playing against the Giants. I think did they go to the Super Bowl? I'm horrible with
Jerry
sports.
Rice.
No, Jerry Jones.
Oh, Jerry Jones, the
Cowboys.
owner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
Okay.
So Cowboys
Oh,
are playing the Giants.
Right.
He brings his whole family, grandkids, wife, kids, everybody. It's like about 18 of them.
Wow.
It's New Year's Day.
Oh my goodness.
He's a Southerner.
Oh, so he knows about some fried chicken. What? Collard greens,
He
mac
already
and
knows
cheese.
everything.
Right.
So they order family style. So he said, Miss Melba, I got everything except for the black eyed peas. Now we know traditionally in the South,
You need black eyed peas
you need
on
black
New
eyed
Year's
peas.
Day.
That's
New
right,
Year's, right.
for luck, and you need collard greens for prosperity,
Right.
for money. So I served him everything else except for the black eyed peas.
Uh-oh.
So I refused to serve him. But did we have him in the
you didn't
restaurant?
want him to win.
I didn't want him to win. So legend says they lost the game.
Oh, 'cause you
it went
didn't serve it.
viral all around. Harlem chef refuses to
it's
serve.
black eyed peas.
So there are little memes about him with black eyed peas on his brain. Hilarious, hilarious. That was a great story. But we've had, thank God, some of everyone. Danielle Brooks, you know,
Oh, yes,
amazing actress. Niecy Nash. We get Jessica.
everybody.
We get everybody.
And these are like your people. It's like
Zendaya.
family. Oh, wonderful.
Tom Holland.
Yeah, okay.
It was announced.
Are they married?
Well, no, I don't. But the paparazzi had speculated that they were dating, and this one day they walk outside Melba's, and of course all the paparazzi was there. DJ Khaled, his beautiful wife Nicole, Kevin Hart,
Yes.
everyone.
Everybody's
Shaquille
been in
O'Neal.
Melba's. Everybody's been in
But the
Melba's.
real kings and queens are my locals.
That's
Yes.
right.
My Harlem
right.
staples.
Yes. Come
on.
That come in on a regular.
That's right.
Like you guys.
That's right.
Those are my real kings and
There you
queens.
go. There you
know?
go.
I love it.
And just to bring it home, as a mother of your beautiful, and your son is how tall?
My baby.
Your baby. She's like 6 what?
8, 9,
6'8",
10.
6'9", but it's her baby.
My
Right.
baby.
Who is beautiful and wonderful.
Thank
And you
you.
talked about he was 4 years old.
Yeah.
When you started and saved up all your money to start your business, what's it like what was it like running, being this amazing entrepreneur and being a mother and this balance that you have to have?
Oh, it was hard, Sheena.
Melba wants to be a superwoman.
I didn't want to be a superwoman. I just wanted to open a restaurant.
That's right.
Oh my God. Oh my
It's-
God.
it's a lot.
It was really, really difficult because I was working. I had windows on the world.
Wow.
That was before I had windows on the world. I was working at Rosa Mexicano in the kitchen at first, and then went to the front of the house. And I was a mom going through a divorce and planning Melba's in 2004 and
Right.
opened in 2005. And when I first opened Melba's, I was in the kitchen. And I was managing the other days.
Right.
And I had only Monday off. And I had a young son and navigating through a divorce. So I was working between 90 and 110 hours a week.
Wow.
Didn't even realize it.
Right.
I did an article, I think it was in the Columbia West Side or Spectator. And the author said, take me through a day in the life of Melba's. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, from when you wake up. And I took her through the day. And she goes, how many hours is that a week? I'm like, I don't know. She added it up.
Wow.
And it blew my mind that I was working that many hours. And I knew that had to change.
Right.
That had to change. There were definitely a lot of sacrifices made because I did divorce when my son was 4.5.
Right.
And I just opened this business and so we missed a lot of family reunions. You know, holidays, the restaurant's open.
That's
That's when we
right.
thrive.
Right.
So he would be in the
there.
restaurant.
Right.
You know, sitting at table 1, sitting
Right.
at table 4 with his friends, but ultimately it's because of my son that I do this. You know, it's important for him to see what living your dream looks like.
Yes.
And it's important for him to see what pushing through looks like. It's important for him to see the steps of going from vision to reality. It's important for him to see me fall down,
Right.
Come on.
Right.
dust myself up,
Right.
off, and get back up.
Right.
Because
Yes.
that's called life.
Yes.
That's called living. You know?
Yes. Amen.
You
Amen.
are.
And what's he doing now?
My baby.
Brag on
Well,
him.
he just did his 3rd Paris Fashion Week without an agent.
Oh, my
So any
goodness.
agents listening, give him a call.
That's
They'll
right.
Fly him
Gorgeous.
out to Paris. But he started investing in the stock market when he was 13.
Oh, wow.
Unlike me, he attended a a summer camp called World of Money.
Oh, yes.
And he went to China with them, and it changed his entire life.
Wonderful.
But his job is he's a sound engineer.
Okay.
And that's what he loves doing.
And he loves it. That's
And
wonderful.
for me, that's what's important. So many people ask me, "Oh, is he going to take over the restaurant?" That's my dream.
Right.
Your dream.
Let him have
That's
his
right.
dream.
Let him have his.
That's right. I'm so glad you said that.
And it's also about his happiness.
Yes.
What makes him whole and happy?
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
That's what I want for him.
And that's what
And
we
that's
want
what he
for
has.
all of our children.
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah, no, they don't have to be us.
Come on now.
You know, but to find their own purpose in life and to be happy. Our journey here is very short in the grand scheme of things, and to know what your purpose is and to find joy and happiness in
It's
your
a
time here
blessing.
is a true blessing. Melba, you are a blessing.
You are a blessing.
You really are. And I just want to ask you one final question as we get ready to wrap up, which is, if you could have one meal with one person
Oh God.
I know, right? It's a hard one.
in the world, like just one meal, who would that be?
Wow, there are two people, and I'm an Aries, so it's a hard question to choose one. But I would have to say it would be Harriet Tubman to thank her, just to say thank you.
Wow.
Just to say thank
Love
you.
that. Love that.
Yeah, and to give her flowers.
Yes.
What would you make for her?
I'd probably make a pot of Perlo. Perlo is something that I love making.
Oh, wonderful.
It's
My people are from South Carolina
so
too.
you already
Yes,
know what
I
Perlo-
know.
A lot of people don't know what Perlo is.
Yeah.
Right? I put some andouille sausage in it, some chicken, a lot of vegetables. But what happens with Perlo is the rice takes up the flavor of the chicken and the sausage, and it's a one-pot dish. And it's sort of like life. You put a bunch of things into this pot called life. And then you have an opportunity to cook up something that's delicious and beautiful. So that's what I would make for her, something simple, but something that's full of a lot of different ingredients, which to me is who she was and who she represents.
Amen.
And that's what you represent for us as well. This has been a wonderful,
Thank you, Melba.
wonderful,
we love you.
wonderful
for having
conversation.
me. Thank
We
you.
love you.
Thank you for having me. And we have some great things coming up.
Yes,
for
you
2026.
tell me about this TV.
2026. So first of all, we have Melba's opening in Newark. My second location in Newark.
All right.
That's 6,800 square feet. And I'm super
that's
excited
huge.
about.
Yes.
It's designed by David Rockwell. And that should open around the end of September. So I'm sure you guys will be there.
Yes,
You guys will be there at the ribbon cutting. But why it's really exciting to me is because I'm able to employ people from the community.
Yes.
You know, that reminds me a lot of Harlem.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
And people that were counted out, people that
Yes.
people said couldn't, wouldn't, and shouldn't.
Right.
So to be able to be in Newark, which is where I spent a lot of time growing up with my cousin, Dr. Davis, author of The Pact, The Three Doctors. So that's opening
What
in
a family.
September.
Yeah.
And then we have the 118th and Lenox Avenue that will then open. Everybody's going to ask me, girl, when's it going to open?
Right.
That place was scheduled to open during the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
March 15, 2020. Totally gutted out 2019. Scheduled to open March 15, 2020. And we all know the city
Right.
shut down.
That's-
So I've been
yeah.
using it as a production kitchen. So that will open up this year, as well as a TV show.
Yes.
TV show. We signed a deal with Oprah.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
We're finalizing the network. We've already chosen which network. We pitched it, got a few offers.
Wonderful.
And Kenya Barris. So we're super excited
That's
And
wonderful.
the TV show is going to be what about the restaurant?
about the restaurant.
Are they going to follow you around as you're going around to all, or is it going to focus on one restaurant?
It's scripted. It's scripted.
Oh, so it's like a drama.
So it's somebody playing me. If you know Kenya Barris, you know he wrote Blackish.
Yes.
And he wrote Girls Trip and quite a few other. So it's.
I love it. So whoever's playing, you
it's a
better be
comedy.
fly.
Are you kidding me?
It's Danielle Brooks.
Oh, wonderful. We love Danielle Brooks. This is amazing.
So we're super excited.
So your
about that.
life brought to the screen.
Totally.
Everybody's
journey.
got to check it out.
Yeah.
It's going to be on TV. Oprah is supporting and down.
you're the first. She's the executive producer.
That's
And you're the
amazing.
first ones to hear.
Yes.
About
Are
This is
you
breaking
serious?
news right here.
Come on.
Congratulations. You
Exclusive.
keep rising,
Beacon in the
sister.
Blueprint
Super
podcast.
excited
That's
about
right.
it.
You keep
Super-
rising.
Super excited about it.
You have been blessed
Thank you.
by God
Yes.
because you have been such a blessing. You have been faithful. You
Yes.
have loved your people
Yes.
and your community, and we love you. And that's why the community keeps giving back to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we love you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Wow.
Yay.